The real question is, if you knew you couldn't afford, then why call the ambulance in the first place? Yeah, no, you're right, yeah, I guess I'll just die. It's the cheaper solution, really. I'll just die. Shout out to patrons NQS and McPuffin, and to YouTube member Holly Miller for supporting my channel and supporting my content. Thank you so much, guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we're taking another dive into insanity, and we're taking a look at r/insane people Facebook. This is recorded a week in advance, so I don't know really what's gone on this week by the time this video's up. However, currently, I'm pretty sure Trump still hasn't resigned and is still trying to cling to everything he's got, so let's look at some insane people. Yes, Trump supporters are going to appear in this video. Are you surprised? Me neither. As a young adult in perfect health, why should I be forced to pay for insurance I don't want and likely won't need? Just letting you guys know I'm in recovery. If you have time, please read. If you can, please help out and share. What do you recommend I do from here on out? Talk to INS, hire a lawyer, file for bankruptcy? My insurance doesn't want to cover the collision. Lacking self-awareness in America. Now, I am also a young, healthy adult. However, injury, sickness, and accidents do not care about your age. You can come down with cancer while not being a smoker, living a perfectly healthy life, and then suddenly, bam, it hits you. It doesn't matter. Now, I am lucky enough that I live in one of the many countries around the world that will support me should this happen financially. I don't have to worry about having to pay off these bills myself. However, in America, you can't really say the same thing, and that's the issue. You are preparing for the worst, you know? You might never come down with any issue that might need to be covered by your healthcare system. However, should you come down with something, you don't have to worry because you pay for it in tax, just like fire services and the police. It's all paid for in tax. No thanks, I don't need a vaccine for a virus I ain't got. Vaccines are specifically for viruses you don't have. You managed to demonstrate a complete lack of understanding in one sentence, which is actually quite impressive. That sums up anti-vaxxers in pretty much one post, you know? Oh, I don't understand this thing, therefore I'm scared of it and I'm gonna make stuff up about it. RIP my children. New. A Mississippi venue allegedly cancelled a couple's wedding plans after discovering the couple was a black man and a white woman. We don't do gay weddings or mixed race because of our Christian race. I mean Christian belief, a woman says. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think that this black man and white woman getting married just dodged a bullet by not going to this venue. Ooh, that's a big yikes. Christian race. Replace coronavirus with Jews, and suddenly the behavior of the 1930s German population becomes eerily similar. What does this mean? I mean, I looked at World War II. We, in history at school, did a lot of Germany during the World War and what went on. And I'm pretty sure at no point did it come up that someone was quarantining in case they would catch Judaism because they didn't want their grandma to get it. Nah, bro, I'm quarantining for the next couple of months. I'm pretty sure I caught Judaism, but there's a vaccine coming out for it in a few months, so my grandma should be safe after that. It's not applicable, is it? It's not a valid swap. Dr. Fauci says Americans should avoid travel over the holidays. What will he cancel next? Saying Merry Christmas? What a fucking idiot. How is trying to save lives equivalent to saying Merry Christmas? Hashtag COVIDiots. There's a similar thing going on in the UK, but in a different vein. That is, our government are lifting restrictions over Christmas so that everyone can visit their family. But they're saying not to do it, but they're letting you do it. They're like, well, you shouldn't, but we're not gonna stop you, but if it happens, it's your fault. Like, they're completely palming off all responsibility. And what annoys me most is they threw every other religion under the bus. right? So Christians get Christmas. Restrictions lift, so Christians get their Christmas. But if you were Muslim or Jewish or Hindi or any other religion with a celebration that isn't Christmas, you just missed out this year. There's no apology, there's no, sorry guys, we'll do better, you guys didn't get the respect that Christians did. It's just, we're a primarily Christian country, therefore Christians get privileges. And it's not okay. I celebrate Christmas, but that doesn't make it okay that other religions didn't get to celebrate their religious holidays, you know? Trump will officially win! Has become a little tiresome now, Anna. Move on. He was a complete failure as a president and lost by 6 million votes, plus the Electoral College, which you would know if you cared about democracy. You know what? One of the big things Trump and his supporters said in 2016 when he won was, move on, he's your president now. And guys, move on, Biden's your president now. New 3 former US presidents, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton, are volunteering to get their COVID-19 vaccines on camera in order to promote public confidence in the vaccine's safety. All 3 Democrat presidents getting their vaccines on live TV so their sheep follow. Not one man amongst them. Bush is a Republican, you know that, right? They are so dumb. Never ceases to amaze me how these people know so little about the things they preach. You're calling a Republican a Democrat because it suits the point you're trying to make, but it's just incorrect. It's just not a valid point because it's not true. It's just misinformation backed up by misinformation, and then they blindly follow the misinformation and call people that follow actual information sheep. You lack so much self-awareness. I'm amazed you can function as a human being. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. There's better things they could take a knee for. Are you suggesting that getting rid of racism is not important? There's more important things going on. Like what? I mean, yeah, there's a pandemic going on, but they're not going to take a knee for COVID anyway, are they? Systemic racism is a huge issue, and it should be changed, and focusing on changing that is important. Yes, there are other things going on, but you know what people can do? They can multitask. That's why you have multiple people working for your government, because then they can do more things at once. Taking a knee for BLM isn't an issue because it's not taking away from other things. Martinez, we have 2 to 4 hour lines due to New Mexico lockdown. Biden's America, Bernie's bread lines, hashtag Biden cheated 2020. How are these people still calling it Biden's America, right? Do they not realize that Trump has been president for the last 4 years? Everything going on right now is Trump's America. Biden isn't president. He hasn't been president yet. This is Trump's America. How do you not understand that? He's the president and has been for 4 years. This is his mess up, not Biden's. Who is worse, the drug dealer or the drug user? When it came to slavery, blacks were the dealers, whites were the users. What? How can... What do you... Where do you get to this conclusion? Well, you're like, them black people, if they didn't want to be slaves, they shouldn't have kept having babies. The more black people make, the more they become slaves. Like, what? Are you insinuating that black people sold their own people to slavery? Because that's not what happened. White people sailed over to Africa, they killed people and took the strong ones in so that they could work as slaves. The black people didn't just go, yeah, go on then, take all my children, I don't care, I can make more. That's not what happened. How can you be so ignorant? Black people are the dealers of slavery. What, because they make babies who happen to be black? Like, oh man, that's a weird take and I've never heard it before. Oh, for goodness sake, Biden won fair and square. So, as all of Trump's supporters said 4 years ago, get over it and accept your new president. There are 77 million legally registered voters in America. Legal meaning they're American citizens of at least 18. They're alive and they only vote once per person. Biden allegedly got 80 million votes. How is that fair? Now I'm just going to do a quick Google. How many people in America are eligible to vote? For the 2016 presidential election, the current population survey found 70% of voting-age citizens, population 224 million, were registered and 61% voted. That's 224 million, sir. So the current population survey counted 153 million registered voters eligible to vote in the 2018 midterm elections. That's literally double what you just said are eligible to vote, right? So, and that was 2 years ago. Now, Trump, being Trump, you know, the greatest achievement he has ever made is that he pushed so many people who weren't registered to vote to register, because a lot of people didn't want Trump. You know, a record high amount of people, the most voters ever recorded, didn't want Trump. So, I mean, in a way, that's an achievement. He will go down as being voted out by the biggest number of people ever. But yeah, your stats are just incorrect, sir. For straight couples, there is one key difference between sex for the male and for the female. A woman gets a penis inserted into her, while a man gets to insert it into someone else. That's all nice and good. It's pleasurable for both genders. But from what I've discovered, only one gender has to save room in her body if its penis is to go into it. Meaning that sometimes, if you've eaten a hearty meal, there isn't enough room. What? Sure, women can eat and then have sex, but they really can't eat a lot. You know the saying, you can always make room for dessert? Well, you can always make room for dick. Especially if you've eaten dessert. That's not... That's not how it works. You know, I shouldn't have to say this, but it's not how that works. Kamala is a female Obama. Neither are black. Both are phonies. They both turn my stomach. Now, neither are black? Have you seen Obama? To question Kamala Harris's heritage when her dad comes from Jamaica and her mum comes from India. How do you fake that? What, do you think that from the day she was born, she was already plotting to get adopted by some random people that are not her real parents? So she was like, right, you're from Jamaica, you're from India, get married and adopt me. I've only just been born and I can plot this already. Like, how do you fake that? And as for Obama, I don't even need to look up his heritage. Just look at him. He's black. And I mean, unless you don't have eyes or, you know, are blind, I don't know how you could ever mistake Obama for a white man. And ultimately, for a Trump supporter, surely Obama being a white man makes him more desirable for a president, right? Same with Kamala. If they were faking being black, would that not make them a better candidate for Trump supporters, being that they seem to hate black people? What if we changed the social distancing to 7 feet apart? Could we support this on a national scale? That is my goal. Think of how much that would upset Satan. It would be safer. If we could make this idea go viral and see once if the virus loses some power, I think it's worth a shot. Share this if you want to give it a try and get the word out. If we get to do 6 feet social distancing, well, let's just do 7 while we're at it. At least we won't be creating Luciferian circles throughout our nation. What difference does 6 and 7 make in regards to distance for groups? They're still going to be making circles that is just going to be one foot further out. And second of all, why 7? Are you seven's not some holy number. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it the 7 deadly sins? You know, Lucifer's entire shebang? This sounds like you're more pro-Satan than against Satan when you're like, yeah, let's social distance the same number as sins, because Lucifer loves sins. That's his whole thing. He tries to get people to sin, right? Isn't that what Christians believe? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems like a really unthought out plan if they genuinely believe that this is Satan's power. Right? A day to celebrate all parents, including LGBTQ parents in NC. LGBTQ people biologically cannot be parents. This is biologically incorrect. There's a few ways, right? So a gay man can donate his sperm and can have a surrogate pregnancy with a woman, so he is biologically the father, and an LGBT woman or a gay woman can have the same thing done and become the surrogate mother. She can have a donator contribute, and then she can become the biological mother. So also they can still adopt, so they don't have to be biological parents. They can adopt and they are still parents of a child, because that's why we have the adoption system. So ultimately your point just has no legs to stand on, because you're just wrong, and even if you were right, you're still wrong. Well, I figured out if Biden wins, at least Trump has until January to fuck up a lot of people. Ah yes, this is the kind of legacy you want your president to leave behind. You know how this president who constantly talks about how he is the best president that has ever existed, he is the greatest president around. Let him leave behind a legacy in which he ruined as many people's lives as possible. What a great presidency that would be, am I right? COVID-19 has a 99% survival rate. Vaccine has a 94% efficiency rate. Question: why take the vaccine when there's a better chance of survival without it? That's not how stats work. That's not... The vaccine doesn't kill you. It doesn't kill 6% of people. Yeah. So... what they are unknowingly saying here is a vaccine has an efficiency rate or efficacy rate of 94%, which means 6% of people will still catch COVID after being vaccinated. However, that doesn't make them immediately die from COVID. It still has a 99% survival rate if we're going by that stat, which means that 99% of that 6% will survive, which means that the amount of people that die becomes drastically lower. Like drastically lower, because most of the people that would die don't get it in the first place. I'm sick of everyone claiming new things are racist these days. Give it a rest. I don't care. I heard someone the other day saying that eating sugar is racist because of its background. Well, now I'll make sure to eat extra sugar. I've never heard anyone say that eating sugar is racist, but I do have this to say. If someone tells you something is racist, regardless of whether it is racist or not, if you then make the extra effort to do that thing more, you are a racist. There's no other way of looking at that. Someone goes, oh, that's racist, you shouldn't do that, and you make the effort to do it even more, you're racist. Like, imagine someone says the N-word, and someone else goes, you shouldn't say that word, it's racist. So they say the N-word more? They're racist. You don't have to worry about people saying new things are racist. If you are not actively trying to be racist or actively trying to insult people or hurt people, then you're not racist. However, if you do, even by being unaware, hurt someone or affect someone's life negatively through a racist move or comment, you should realize your mistake and make the effort to not do it again. By making the effort to do it more, you are very racist. And the final image. China has a 5,000-year history of cheating and stealing. Some things will never change. This is the most racist and ignorant US senator I have seen. A lifetime. For real, like, China has a 5,000 year of cheating and stealing? What? How can you make that claim? From what grounds? From what history? Like, sure, there have been times where China hasn't had the best examples of leadership. You know, there have been times where it's been a bit dodgy. However, they haven't always been like that, and they aren't always going to be like that. And it's a really, really ignorant and insulting statement to say that China will always and has always been a country of cheating and stealing. Like, you're insulting its leadership, you're insulting its people, you're insulting its integrity. You are a senator of one of the biggest world powers in the world. Making a statement like that is dangerous. It is damaging, and you should really assess what you're saying before you post something like that on your public Twitter. That's where I'm going to end the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm angry now. If you want to support me and support my content, you can click the link below to join my Patreon. It helps a lot more than you think. You can also click the join button to become a member of the channel, which also helps a lot more than you might think. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.